Welcome to Retirement with Jim. So today, I'm going to talk about what's my start in 2025 looks like. Not as great as I'd like. So if you like my content, please hit the like and subscribe button, and feel free to leave comments. I'd love to hear from you. Whether you agree with me, disagree with me, doesn't matter. Let's get started. So my start to 2025, not so great. My car broke down. It's going to cost me about $700 to get my car fixed. Well, my car's paid for. That's a good thing. But like any other thing, it's mechanical and you just never know. So sure enough, have problems with it, and yeah, it's going to cost me about $700 to fix it. Eh, not not a great start. Wasn't looking. You're never looking for your car to break down and things to happen like that. Excuse me. Along with that, I had to do a little home repair, a little bathroom fix, and one of my toilets was acting up and had to replace all the guts in that. And that's not too bad, but still things that have to be done. So it brings you to that emergency fund. You got one? Did you make plans and set aside some money for it? Because you got to be able to cover those expenses, when they happen. You be prepared. So because I am prepared with an emergency fund, this is not that big of a deal. There are worse things than that. Kind of makes you think, what would you do if your retirement fund took a nosedive? Are you prepared for that? Do you think, you've got a backup plan and something you want to do or can do? No one ever wants to think about, things going wrong in their retirement. But let's face it, that's life. Things happen. So are you prepared? Are you ready for, something if your retirement income suddenly goes into the dumper? So, excuse me. So with that, are you willing to or able to take a part-time gig? Work some part-time or do a side hustle of some sort. Do some freelance work. What are your abilities? And what's your desire to be able to do that if you had to? Most people don't want to. So, but are you prepared to? So that you can protect that in the retirement plan that you got. Something to think about. Your plan isn't always set in stone. So it really makes sense to review that and make sure that you're sitting in good shape. There is really kind of wise to never just, okay, this is what I retired with and this is what I'm drawing on, and like it's done and forgotten. Not a good plan. Not something that you want to do. You want to review every year, how you're doing and how's your money doing. So, let's face it, the key to success is being flexible. So you want to make sure that you are giving it a yearly review. Talk to a financial planner if necessary, but make sure you're looking at it, see how you're doing. So along with that, you really want to make sure that you're budgeting, that you have put together a retirement budget so you know where your money's coming from, what income you have for the month, and what you're able to spend. But that too needs to be reviewed. How are you doing? Are you spending and staying within budget? Excuse me, getting over a cold. They have, excuse me, I'm looking at my notes down here, but they have budgeting, apps, like Mint and YNAB. They have, programs that can help you really manage, if you don't really know how to put a budget together well for yourself. But it's the basics, knowing how much money you got coming in, what your monthly bills are. It's really important, and that you take a good look at that. And that doesn't mean you're counting pennies. You're not. You're just being smart with the money that you got. Counting pennies. No one wants to do that. You feel like you're not enjoying your retirement, no doubt. Um, but you also want to make sure that you're being smart about where you spend your money, what you're doing with your money, and it makes it easier to adjust. Being flexible is the key to everything, and you can see how you're doing, are you staying within budget? Are you coming in well below budget? As you spend more time in retirement, you will find that you spend less money. You really do. And because of that, you'll end up with some extra money. You're just not spending it. So, you might be able to free up some of that money and maybe do some other hobbies or something. But, looking at when you budget, how you're doing, it's a good thing. It's a great thing because it really makes it easier to have a more enjoyable um, retirement. So along with that, stay positive. For instance, my car breaking down and having to do some work, at the house. It's easy to get frustrated with that, and it's easy to go, oh my God, become negative. You just have to roll with it. Be positive, be a positive mindset, because it makes then having to do those challenges and overcome that with a little bit of grace and ease, because you're just like, I'll get beyond this. Just a small little bump in the road, little obstacle. Because if you're prepared for it, you've got that emergency fund. And, having that emergency fund is a definite plus. So, it's easy to absorb, the $700. I'm probably starting out the year spending, $800 that I wasn't planning on spending. But you know what? I can do it and not worry a lot about it. So are you ready and prepared if you have to have some hiccups along the way, and what can you do to overcome that? So just something to think about. So not off to the greatest start, but it could be a whole lot worse. So with that, I'm going to call it a day. I think my car's calling. It's done. I will see you in the next one.